Ladies and gentlemen, 10 rounds of boxing for the vacant Australian Light Heavyweight Championship. Would you welcome in the red corner, wearing black trunks with a touch of red, from Cronulla, New South Wales via Paddington, Coach David Birchall, toe-to-toe, Gymnasium Lakemba. He is the reigning New South Wales super middleweight champion. A professional record of 6 fights, 5 wins, 1 draw, 2 inside the distance. Ranked number 8 by Ray Whitley's World of Boxing as the contender. At 25 years of age, 79.25 kilograms. Ladies and gentlemen, would you welcome for the first time to Melbourne, the ruckus, Michael Van Nimwegen. And across the ring in the blue corner, from Essendon via Greenvale, Victoria, Coach Sam Lebruna. He's been a star on Brian Amatruda, Barry Michael shows for the past 12 months. Unbeaten in professional boxing. 10 bouts, 9 wins, 1 draw, 4 inside the distance. Rated as the number 1 contender at 79.15 kilograms. Trunks of gold with a touch of black. White sand gold, as I said. Would you welcome bomber Blake Caparello. 10 rounds of boxing. Your referee, Ignatius Miscellatus. Judges, Anika Williams, Andrew Campbell, Dale Westerman. Here we go. Let's get it on. Championship time continues.
Okay, boys, I spoke in the change rooms. Expect to obey my commands all the time and protect yourselves all the time. Understand? Touch gloves now and good luck.
Vacant Aussie light heavyweight title coming your way. That man, Michael Van Nimwegen, has travelled south, the hostile territory, to take on local favourite and Essendon boy, the bomber Blake Caparello. 10 rounds is the journey. 79.38 kilos, 175 pounds or 12 stone 7 for the vacant Aussie title. It is Van Nimwegen in the solid black trunks, in the black and the gold. Caparello, once again, a right-hander versus a left-hander. The right is Van Nimwegen, the left is Caparello.
Both boys very deserving of an Australian title fight. I know it's something Blake Caparello's tried to get for a long time. And, yeah, both big light heavyweights as well.
Caparello's a guy who's impressed me for a long time as well. Yep. He puts it very, very well together in the ring. Yeah,
I'm exactly the same. I love what Blake Caparello brings. He fears nobody, like I said in the intro. He'll just take on anybody, and that's what I love about him.
Joel Casey, Kane McKay, Michael Bolling, Togalatoa, Joseph Quajo, Aaron Ross. Fair list of names in your opening 10 fights.
And we're talking a guy who had a very limited amateur career. It wasn't as if he had 60 or 70 amateur fights under his belt. Oh, that's the punch that got Michael Bolling.
That is the big shot of Blake Caparello, and it is a boomer, that left hand.
That's what Michael Van Nimwegen really has to be careful of.
A lot of time for young Michael, inside and outside of the ring. Nice young guy.
I was actually a little bit worried going into tonight because he does hold his hands very low, Michael Van Nimwegen, but tonight he's got him up very high. He looks like he's boxing a lot better.
Yeah, we've seen him a couple of times now on Fox Sports with Joel Burke and Big George Zeros. Always in a great fight, Mike Van Nimwegen.
Lost an 8-rounder unanimous decision to Georgie Zeros for the New South Wales super middleweight title.
Oh, the left hook from Caparello.
Said about Blake in the opener, whoever and whatever you put in front of him, he is steamrolling.
Oh, a little bit more knuckle needed on that one. This is the danger of Blake Caparello. If you sit there like Mike's doing at the moment, he's gonna tee off on you. Mike has to throw punches as he's going. He can't sit at Blake's distance.
Yeah, Blake's just getting more and more confidence too.
That's right, and that's how Blake works. Once you let Blake Caparello get a rhythm, he's very hard to stop. Mike needs to make it rough, and he needs to get in behind his punches and try and unsettle Blake Caparello. Sitting here, that's danger. Good jab there from Van Nimwegen.
Yeah, pushing forward ever so slightly. Ripping to the body. He's got an effective level change. As Blake Caparello, 1 round down, 9 potentially remaining. Now we saw, of course, last up, Michael van Nimwegen with a 6-round unanimous points decision over Joel Burke in a Sydney show in July this year on the undercard to Nader Hand and Dan Pawsey.
And he got sucked into Joel Burke's fight until about rounds 5 or 6 where he switched back onto his style.
Yep, busted his hand.
Yeah, he did, broke his hand.
And Gilly, you know, of all people, having been what you've been through in the last 3 months, it's a difficult road back from a dud hand.
Yeah, it's not too good, but you just got to look after it enough and hopefully it'll come right.
They turned it on, didn't they, the boys? Rarely does the professor not turn it on.
Before the bell even started, that had warnings.
That's right.
The heads come together and the referee had to break them before a fight even started.
Got your mouth guard in. Wipe that corner, boys. Fox, stand down, boys.
Round number 2, the vacant Australian light heavyweight title. Andy Raymond, Chris McCullen, the little big man, and the real deal Daniel Gill, a world champion, an Aussie champion, and, well,
Andy Raymond,
a potential contender for second place in my own house.
Well, you were a BMX bike champion. That'll do.
Take that from 25 odd years ago.
Oh, there's that left hook from Caparello. It's so easy for us to sit here and say, but Mike needs to put his punches together. Put them in bunches. Ones ain't going to work against Blake Caparello.
No, they're exactly right.
There's the one. There's the low percentage single punch.
There doesn't seem to be a lot of height difference between these guys. Not a lot of reach difference as well,
No.
but Caparello just lands that left very, very easily.
At 2 centimetre height, 3 centimetre reach advantage, both in favour of Blake Caparello. But again, the way he stands, offensively and defensively, legs apart, really crouched down, it appears, albeit an optical illusion, that Van Nimwegen's got that length and height on him.
I think what works in Blake's favour is he uses his feet really well for a lefty. He's one of the better left-handed fighters around at the moment here in Australia. He's in and he's out of range with only a small step, a half a step. He's never too far away from his opponent, as you saw there. Sometimes fighters jump too far away and they're a metre out instead of being only a few centimetres where they can still land their shots. Caparello's always there.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Sometimes they get too close as well and crowd their punches.
That's right, yeah.
But he tends to hold his distance well.
Oh, just missed that slip left hand. I think, you know, Mike's got to give Blake something to look at. Again, easy said than done from here for us, but you know, even if it's just a jab, poking it out, whether it scores, hit the front glove, hit the shoulder, but give Blake Caparello something to look at, not just standing at distance. Good head movement there from Mike van Nimwegen. I think the thing as well that Mike's got to be careful of is that he doesn't get frustrated. We've seen him; he loves to be in an action fight. He loves to put pressure on. But at the moment, he's struggling with the style of Blake Caparello. He's just got to, you know, stick to his game plan, trust in his corner of Dave Birchall, that, you know, they'll reassure him what he's got to do in the break.
Could even be an idea to try and get into Blake Caparello's head. And sometimes that's a good tactic. I try and do that myself.
Rough him up.
Get in their head and play a few games, and sometimes it puts them off.
Talk a bit of jive.
Yeah.
That's round 2.
2 rounds down, back to the corners they go in our semi-main event on this edition of Fox Sports Friday Night Fights.
This round I want you to work his body a bit more. Okay, straight down the middle. Work, mate. Working from your range, your distance, your pace. Okay? Yep. Work, well done. Good? Work, mate. Long way to go, mate. Nice and easy, okay? Work. Big breaths.
Second round, round 3.
Round number 3 coming your way. Van Nimwegen, we spoke briefly about Caparello's amateur career, a brief one. Under 10 fights. Van Nimwegen, 26 fights, 2-time state champion and a bronze medal at the Aussie titles. So despite the fact he's only had 29 rounds and 6 fights as a professional, he's got some experience there.
Yeah, I saw Mike down in Canberra the year that he represented New South Wales at the Australian titles, and he didn't lose that fight by too much. He was always in it to fellow New South Welshman, I think, Luke Wonder maybe. But, you know, he was around that level, so he has got the better amateur career, but at this stage you can see Blake Caparello is controlling this fight today.
Two young men, genuinely good hand-eye coordination as Van Nimwegen scores and scores well with the right hand.
Yeah, it was his best punch so far of the fight. You saw Sam LeBruner in the corner. He was the one on the outside doing the talking to Blake Caparello. They got a great relationship, fighter-trainer relationship. It's very important in boxing, I think, that the trainer and the fighter think the same, they get along, and the trainer can keep the fighter calm in the corner. Which, Geely, you have excellent down in your team.
Yeah, we got a great corner. And a minute is not very long. You don't very long to recover, so you got to make the most of that minute.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. This is better from Mike Van Nimwegen. He gets touched a little bit there, but nothing major. Good jab there from Caparello. Something that, you know, the lefties don't use, or the righties don't use against the lefties too much, is the jab. And I think I always talk about it. Rob Medley down at Penrith one night, it was against Gary Comer, you're right. Dominated the fight with the left hand. A real good performance by Rob Medley that night.
He beat up his friend.
It was his friend, yeah, that's the one.
You're a weird lot, all of you.
The Grange, eh?
Yeah, it was a topic of conversation for a little time after that as well, that fight.
Back to the present time.
Just under 40 seconds remaining in round number 3, and still yet to see fluent combination punches from Michael.
Oh, there's that danger.
He's walked into one there, hasn't he?
Hasn't he got a good left hook, Blake Caparello, as he finds the room with the uppercut as well. We saw the referee say to Mike Van Nimwegen, that's the third time you fought. There's an impossibility. You're going to step on the front foot of the lefty. That's just the way the left-handed, right-handed work. Oh, that left hook is unbelievable from Blake Caparello. Back to the corners we go.
Main event next. Albert Sullivan.
Last time we saw Blake Caparello, it was a 12-round points victory for an interim regional title. August this year over Joseph Quajo, who previously had a stoppage victory over Mr. Business, Jamie Pittman.
I think on this night was whether Blake was trying something new or whatnot, but he stood in front of Joseph Quajo a lot. Whether he's gone home and he's learned, go back to what he does best, and that's his movement around the outside, try and catch his opponent out. You can see here he was right in front of Quajo, which, you know, probably wasn't the best thing to do, although he won comfortably in the end.
Seconds out, round 4.
Real learning experience it was for Blake Caparello. Went the 12 rounds. It's only been the 10 rounds plus twice. Once was against Quajo, the other one was December of last year. That draw for the national title with Shane McConville.
Yeah, in saying that, we say only twice in such a short professional career. Most guys don't touch a 10-round fight until they're into their 10th, 11th pro fight.
Yep.
He did it in his fourth, I think, from memory, around about then. Oh, good jab there from Caparello. Oh, and the left hand followed. This guy's a real star of the future, Blake Caparello. Oh, good work from Van Nimwegen.
Michael Van Nimwegen in the black trunks, in the black and gold is Blake Caparello.
Watch it. Put up.
Won the Victorian title in just his third fight. Defended it twice. A victory over Joel Casey and also Kay McKay. Casey was rated WBA 10 before losing that Papa Light heavyweight title just last week as well.
Okay, let's put you on the spot, Geely. So, you know, we see Blake Caparello in control of this fight. We go back to the corner in Mike Van Nimwegen. What do you tell him as a trainer?
If you come back to corner to me, I think something needs to change. Michael Van Nimwegen is following Blake Caparello around. He's chasing after him. I think try and reverse the roles. Make him come to you.
Yeah,
See if that works.
Yep.
Get him to come to you, and he won't be able to counter punch as easily. He'll probably try and bring the attack. Then maybe you can counter punch him.
Yeah, great point. And the old saying, the best way to beat a counter puncher is beat him at his own game.
Exactly.
If he's going to go forward like this, he's got to put more than one together. He's got to put them in punches, 3s, 4s.
Yep. The single punch is going to get counter punched every day of the week.
That's right. Yep.
What's foot? All the time. You watch that foot.
It's impossible. I'm not sure what the referee wants him to do.
Caparello.
They had a nice
Very
move.
good eye.
I like what Van Nimwegen did then. He stepped around the front foot, put a pivot on, but didn't punch off it. Good jab from Van Nimwegen.
Do you try something without the punch at the end? Do you try the body movement, say, okay, well, that worked. Next time I'm going to do exactly the same thing, but then throw one at the end of it?
Shoot a double jab right hand straight off it. Open up that line and send it down the middle.
Middle stages of round number 4. In fact, the majority of round number 4 has been like this, with Caparello just circling, predominantly left.
Oh, there it is again, a little bit of a balk, a little feint, then he jumps on it. That was good work from Van Nimwegen. Like you said, Gilly, give him something different, whether it's forward, back.
Round 4 comes to a close.
Middle rounds here in the battle for the vacant Australian light heavyweight title. Once again, weight limit of 79.38 kilos, 175 pound or 12 stone 7.
You could see in the corner Dave Birchall asking Mike, you know, do this, do that. Mike's got frustration on his face. He wants to do it, but it's impossible, and it's credit to Blake Caparello. We saw the same look and in Michael Bolling.
Yep.
Same thing, very frustrating to fight Blake Caparello, and that's a credit to his style because he fights a great southpaw fight.
He is. He actually came down to the Grange gym. It was a while back now, and I done a few rounds of sparring with Blake, and he's a great southpaw to box against. I wish him all the best.
There was a look of resignation on the face of Michael Bolling when they fought, very much like Michael Van Nimwegen. Knew exactly what he wanted to do, knew exactly what he had to do, but actually doing it and achieving it, very different and very difficult.
Yeah, that's right. And credit to Blake and his team. That's better from Van Nimwegen, backing up, bringing Caparello forward.
Yeah.
He certainly doesn't look as comfortable as he does when he's going back, Blake Caparello.
Trying to come over the top there, Van Nimwegen. Gets out of the way of a punch very well, Caparello.
Oh, look at that.
Walked into one.
Took it well, did Mike Van Nimwegen, as he digs a right uppercut underneath. That was a real good shot. He saw that well, the left hand from Caparello, and got underneath it, did Van Nimwegen. Once again.
Seems to be a bit of confidence starting to pick up now.
Yeah, you're right. What you said, he's trying now to counter Caparello, and it seems to be working so far. This has been his best part of the fight so far, and we're in round number 5.
Not following as much. A little uppercut there from Van Nimwegen, but not following.
Has he got a bit of a nick on his left eye, Van Nimwegen? We'll see as he works his way around to this side of the ring.
Final 30 seconds of round number 5.
Always very risky throwing big body punches and dropping your hands straight after on the ropes.
As we saw in the last fight.
Yeah. I think we saw a little bit of everything in the last fight, didn't we?
We did. Rules were well gone out the window.
That was a beaut. Bell sounds half fight distance here. The Australian light heavyweight title.
Here's what round number 5 produced. The left hand down the middle from Blake Caparello. Oh, once again.
Took him well though.
Yeah, he did take him well, Van Nimwegen.
Seconds out for round 6.
Stand down, stand down.
Not a lot of work for our referee Ignatius Missilides to do in the opening 15 minutes. Will that change in the second 15? All the work has been done by the athletes and the 3 ringside judges in Dale Westerman, Andrew Campbell and Anika Williams.
Yeah, both very clean fighters, fought in great spirit.
Is it Caparello 5 rounds to 0?
Yeah, probably still at this stage. Last round was pretty close. Would have been harder to score for the judges.
Yeah, you might have called it even, maybe.
Yeah,
last one.
I certainly thought it was the best round from Mike Van Nimwegen.
So to win on points, Van Nimwegen potentially needs to win every round from here and then do something special.
Yeah, and good left hand, right hand to the body from Mike. But you're right, Andy. I think, you know, he needs to do something different, and he certainly needs to win some rounds.
Both guys still look fresh. Their eyes have not deviated.
Good work from Van Nimwegen. Make it rough, make it untidy. What he did with Joel Burke, that's what he needs to bring here tonight. If he's got to make it rough and untidy and forget what the fans want, he's got to do what's good for him in there, and he needs to do something different. Try and unsettle Blake Caparello. Oh, dangerous.
Both boys cocked them, they didn't fire them. Halfway through round number 6. And Nimwegen again back into that very similar format that we saw earlier. Tags Caparello around the ring, follows him, shadows him if you like. And it's allowing Blake to counterpunch. Undeniably one of his strengths.
Ooh. See there, Van Nimwegen just missed with the right uppercut, but then come 2 steps out, which was way too far away from Blake Caparello. He couldn't capitalise on that.
Too many single punches as well. There needs to be a few more combinations if Van Nimwegen wants to start picking it up.
Yeah, I agree. Look at that left hand straight down the pipe. Nothing on it, but just beautifully timed.
Opportunity there for Van Nimwegen. 23 seconds remaining in the round. We've discussed a variety of theories in how Michael can turn this around. Is one still an option? Get him on the ropes and just start whaling him away?
That's his only option as well. Well, not his only. He's got the counter, but I think that's one thing that he has to do. If he can't work him backwards, he's got to get inside and rough it up.
Round 6.
Let's take a look at the Australian light heavyweight rankings as they stood at the start of the month. And of course, this title is vacant. That's what's being fought for tonight. Blake Caparello is the #1 man. Joel Casey, who fought only recently with Manny Vlamis. Mark Flanagan, new state champion. Daniel Baff there. Tyrone Jones as well. And the #7 on the list was man in the red corner tonight, Michael van Nimwegen.
You're at his game, that's what he wants.
Round 7.
Round #7, what can the New South Welshman do here to turn the tables?
We've actually got a good young fighter coming up as well, a guy by the name of Steve Lovett, fighting out of the Grange that next year or so will be making a big mark on the Australian scene.
Very good young boxer, a good young athlete too, just a natural.
One of the best left hooks in the game is Steve Lovett. Saw a lot of him in the amateurs and looking forward to seeing what he brings to the pro ranks.
Range ever progressing with their new IBF middleweight champion of the world, who is joining us tonight, Daniel Gill.
He fought the junkyard dog Aaron Russell twice in the amateurs, did Steve Lovett for 1 apiece. Oh, nice left hand down the pipe. And again, look at that for timing.
Two beautiful straight shots there from young Blakey Caparello.
And make that 3.
He's masking the frustration, but I'm quite sure it is there for Michael van Nimwegen.
Certainly. Oh, better work from Van Nimwegen. Then he come out. Then he's got to get on top. Instead of coming out, he's got to get on top of Blake.
Yeah, that's right. He needs to test him out. Get in there and do some work. Don't just stand back.
Stepped on his foot again.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with the warnings on the run. I don't think it's changed the fight in any way, shape or form.
You're doing it too often, okay?
That's impossible.
Yeah, not too many accidents.
I don't
right?
agree with that.
Box.
No.
Well, I've sparred southpaws non-stop and it happens time and without every spar that happens. Oh, the big left hook from Caparello falls short, and this is where Van Nimwegen needs to be.
And back to where we started. Minute remaining in the 7th. Good 2-punch combination from Caparello. Rare young talent. When he throws that awkward left hand, you can hear it echo, can't you? Around the auditorium.
We saw that put bowling down, but then I think it was, look at that left uppercut. Oh, wobbled the legs of Van Nimwegen.
Van Nimwegen is struggling here with just under 30 seconds remaining in the round. Blake Caparello has dominated on points and he wants to finish this fight before the final bell.
Well, this is real danger.
He's on wobbly legs, street. Van Nimwegen.
He's got to hold him, he could get hurt. Hands up, Mike.
Oh, now that's it. Right decision has been made. Blake Caparello is the new Australian light heavyweight champion. Michael van Nimwegen, filthy. But on replay, you'll find out that the right decision was made late in the fight, late in round number 7. What a moment for this young man, Blake Caparello. A
will we see the rematch of Shane McConville and Blake Caparello?
Yeah, we may well. We may well.
Something a lot of people want to see.
Shane's been out of the sport for some time with illness. We'd love to see him back. We'd love to see these two go at it again. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah. I think Michael had been struggling for probably the last 30 seconds.
Yeah. And we've seen the finishing style of Blake Caparello, and it's dangerous. If you're gone and you're a little bit hurt, Blake Caparello can put you to sleep.
Let's make it official by going centering to Howard Lee.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. The time, referee Ignatius Mitselatis stopped the contest. 2 minutes 58 seconds into round 7. You win it by TKO, a new Australian light heavyweight champion, Bomber Blake Caparello.
Blake Caparello victorious, Michael van Nimwegen in just his 7th pro fight will be back, and I have no doubts will hold Australian gold at some stage. One man who is hoping to once again hold World Championship gold is our very own